This is Just AMZN on Monday, March 22nd, 2021. So on Friday's video, I talked about the triangle from Friday looking very similar to Monday, and we had a similar move up. And then what we did today, Monday, I went ahead and boxed it in for what I think it looks really similar to, just a different time frame. So this took maybe 2 hours on Tuesday of last week. We even came down to this price range, and like we literally bounced off the 21 right at the same level here. It just took a little bit longer to get all the way up here, putting in nearly the same high as we did on Tuesday. And so I'm just kind of thinking ahead. If we do sort of pull back like this, I just drew it in like, hey, maybe it'll look something like this. It'll turn into like inverted head and shoulders. Maybe we'll get a big rally up into this price, which if we get a move up into like 3170, I mean, it could really actually hit this line again. Like this line wasn't relevant today. It wasn't relevant after I drew it in. It really only lined up on these days, but how cool would it be if it lined up here, say sometime on Wednesday or even sooner? You know, we could get back up into that price. So yeah, here we are. We're back up above this red line, and we could easily come back and retest into it. Um, I don't know, but it was just kind of fun to draw this out and figure out what would this look like, you know, if we do kind of continue to repeat some of these things. Um, I don't know that we've had this kind of repetition where it looks so similar, like even the price levels. But I mean, that's kind of how this works. Like it trades up and down all the time through certain price ranges, and it's just seeming to kind of lock into some certain levels in here. So we'll see. I don't know if it's gonna happen. You know, we're into 3110 quite a bit here and here, so we may get back into 3110. I didn't quite draw this one up as high into 3110, but just, you know, to be looking a little bit different. And then we don't have a line here to pull back into, so I just drew a price there. But what if there's another, what if we get into something where this just keeps repeating, and you know, you have something that lines up, you know, like somewhere over here. So like if I grab the low there, like that actually lines up, just because literally we're at the same level, you know, as we were back over here. Oh, yeah, that looks funny now. I guess I didn't realize it would do that. Okay, yeah, so I drew on the screen. It doesn't actually stay on the chart. So that's annoying. Can I save that? Hang on. Let me see if I can save this. Save as a PNG. I don't know what this is going to do. Okay. It says save, show in folder. I don't know if it's going to show the folder. There we go. Okay. Yeah, that's interesting. So let me stop that and get rid of this folder now that I know that it's there. All right. So that was fun. So I'm going to clear it because we need to go look at everything else. So let me go do that. Let's see. Let's go back over here. So we'll see if we get into a line like that. Just see if that lines up to anything. So anyway, back on just today, just Monday, we had a nice move up, opened and just rallied. So for it to run up like this, you know, pulled into the 21 and just got back up. High wave candle here, right into this line. And the 3200 call expiring this Friday would have been a really nice setup, getting in on any of these lows through here at 6 and a stop down at 5. This was really the only thing that really worked out, like a really decent range on the stop, you know, $100 risk, but you know, you had some opportunities to get in here at 6, and then you could have gotten out at 9 for a 3-hour target. If you went with like the 3150, it was just more expensive. So you would have been paying up to 14 here. Maybe you would have gotten in, maybe not. You know, much larger range on this. 3175, just not enough volume. Much wider range. So this, you know, getting in 10 by 9, it came down to 905. possibly could have been stopped out on that, or if you waited for that candle, then got in at 10 with a stop at 9, that could work. And then 13 is your target. It would have filled at 13. Well, I don't know if it actually would have filled there at 13, but the next candle you're pulling way back down, and that was just this candle. So even if that's happening and it puts in a low again around 10:30, it's like, okay, where else could I get in? Like get in at 11, stop at 10. If we're just riding, so far we've been riding the 21 or the 5. We just stayed on the 5 the whole way up, and that would have actually worked from getting in at 11, getting out at 14. Let's just paint up a little bit more, where you had kind of a similar setup on the 3200 call, and you could have been, I think reducing your risk quite a bit more. It held the 5. You could have moved your stop up from 5 to 6, and then you could have moved your stop up from 6 to 7. Maybe would have been trailed out at 7 here. Probably would have been trailed out at 7 for a nice little gain there. If you had moved your stop that, before this candle came in. If you moved your stop after this candle came in, or after this one, then, oh wow, that was the bearish candle there. Okay, so this was actually a bullish candle on the stock, bearish candle on the put, and a bearish candle on the call, which is interesting. So, and then it gaps up. So this was probably just some folks selling at that candle for some reason. Obviously, people selling. So since it's red, but it did just continue to run up. So if you had waited to move your stop after this candle, then you can move it to 7, and then it's up here. You move it to 8, but it would have hit the 9, the target of 9 at 3 hours. But you would have been able to continue to trail that every dollar up to 8, and then would have been trailed out here for a nice little gain. And on the puts, it just continued to lose value all day. That's what we've seen in some of these moves. If we get a little closer, the 30-50 really did the same thing. And it's hard to look at it like this. It's almost easier to look at a log scale, which I haven't actually done, but you got to like zoom in and see, okay, what was the move? Could I have gotten into something, with some candle? Like there wasn't any reversal candle here. Even this, like when it starts to break through the 21, so this candle breaking through the 21, what did that let you get into? Maybe buy at 15, out at 16, like a 1R scalp. That was it, because then it touched the 21 here, and you needed to get out because then it immediately reversed. And then it starts going sideways here and pushes down a little bit further, but it held the 21. You'd think, well, it's probably going to hold the 21 or not go too far through. So again, here, if you're getting in bearish, this is counter trend. If you're getting in bearish as it's breaking the 5, maybe this candle or even this candle, like you're buying here or over here, and you're holding through all this just sideways and down, and then it pops a little bit and you just have to get out. So there wasn't really anything helping to get in, looking for any sort of solid reversal on the put. It just continued to go down. And so you can almost connect the highs and see, okay, if it breaks above a line, then that might be a good level to be getting in on a pullback. And so there were some of those. So buying when this pulls back here, the 3200, it's back down at a level that it had bounced before. So 650 didn't quite get down to 6. So it gets down here to this level at 610, doesn't quite get down to 6. You could get in on its way back up at 650, even buying at 7, and it just hangs out around 750. And it keeps pulling back to 7. It's like, okay, just scalp it, get out at 750, and then it finally does come down to 6. And so if you had an order left open for getting in at 6 from earlier and didn't fill here, it would have filled here, and then that ran up, but again, didn't get all the way back up to 9. At this point, it's slowing down. Like this increase here, this increase here is much faster than this one here. But you could have bought at the same level of 6 and gotten out at 7, even almost 8, 750, right through this same resistance. So that would have been a nice little gain there too. So, and then this kind of plummeted right into the end of the day. 15 minutes of selling, looked really strong here, barely moved on the put. Well, I take that back. Kind of got going. went from like 11 up to almost 13. So 11, 12, 15. So that would have been a little bit of a gain there if you were going counter trend there, because it's riding the 21 and then it breaks down. So you still could have been buying close to 11 maybe here, or just getting in on this candle as it's breaking down. So probably having an order open 11 by 10 would have worked. You buy at 11, probably would have filled with some positive slippage there, getting in a little bit below 11, unless you did a stop limit. In that case, it's possible it would have filled right at 11. And a stop down at 10, and then just looking again to scalp, get out at 12. That's where some previous resistance was here, like 1175, 1180, 1190, maybe 12. Here this one's 1215. So get out at 12. Just scalp that because you don't know if it's going to push down any further. But the call definitely dropped. So this was the lowest price of this this option, 467 all day there. So new low there. Yeah, but we're back. We're right back into the zone again. So we'll see. Like I drew out on the 5 minute, if we're gonna move around in here a little bit, if we can get something going up a little bit more. We're back above the 21. So we got above the 21 on this day. We're back above the 21 here. That's why I'm thinking a little bit of choppiness right on the 21 for Tuesday is not out of the question. And the squeeze continues. So, all right, hope this helps. This is Just AMZN. Thanks.